Question: should I pay my lawyer to talk to the opposing party's attorney? Well, the short answer is yes. Anyway, this question goes on. He spent 3 hours last week responding to 12 emails from opposing counsel, and I need to pay him for his time. At least that's what he says. At this rate, my lawyer will become a secretary and I will be bankrupt. Okay, I get where you're coming from, and you have some legitimate grounds for a complaint. Clearly, the opposing lawyer is trying to run up the cost of the litigation by calling or corresponding with your attorney excessively, so that your attorney has to take the calls and or write responses to all of the correspondence or the calls. The opposing lawyer is thus playing dirty. Still, some cases are expansive and or complicated and may require a great deal of back and forth between attorneys as a reasonable and necessary part of the litigation process. If your case is the kind that doesn't require anything close to the amount of calls and emails and other messaging the opposing side is sending to your attorney, if it is clear that the volume of the opposing attorney's communication is excessive and engaged in bad faith, you are not obligated to suffer it. One way that your attorney and you may be able to remedy this problem would be by having your attorney send opposing counsel an email like this. Dear opposing counsel, it is clear to any reasonable person that the frequency and volume of your telephone calls and or written correspondence with my office is unnecessary, unduly burdensome, and oppressive, and engaged in bad faith. My client cannot afford to have my staff or me take such calls and read and respond to every one of such written correspondence or telephone messages. Consequently, my client has now directed my staff and me to do the following. Spend no more than 5 minutes per week taking calls from anyone at your office and read and or respond to written communications from your office totaling no more than 250 words per message. If in a given week you honestly believe you need more than 5 minutes to speak with me and or more than 250 words to communicate in writing to me, my client requires that you send me an email, no printed letters, no faxes, no phone messages, stating a clear and concise explanation for why. No one at the office will read your email, but I will forward it to my client to determine whether he or she authorizes me that week to speak with you for more than 5 minutes and or review and or respond to more than 250 written words from you. If you have any questions regarding this policy, you are welcome and encouraged to call and discuss them with me for up to 5 minutes this week and or email me with your questions this week so long as your email is no more than 250 words in length. You can't expect everyone to be reasonable and fair, people who do as they would be done by. Not everyone's like that. When you encounter such people, it's up to you to enforce the rules. If you don't make the effort, you can't be surprised by the result, or more accurately, the lack thereof.